So you're thinking about leaving the corporate world and opening your own business? If you have a great career as an executive in the corporate world and you're thinking about leaving all that for the private sector and opening your own business, I suggest you watch this video because I'm going to tell you the way it is, and you might not hear that from so many people. So listen up and let's get into it. Hi guys, my name is Eddie Lindenbaum, and I've been for more than 40 years in the business world as a private business owner, as a founder, as an entrepreneur. And I'm here to give you some advice if you're thinking about leaving the corporate world, which you have a great position, and you're going to open your own business in the private sector. These are some of the things which you have to think about very carefully if you don't want to fall flat on your face. I've been helping, advising, and coaching quite a few high-level executives who have left the corporate world. Some of them came to me after 2-3 years in which they were failing miserably. And not all of them I was able to help. I'll be very upfront about that. The ones who came to me at the beginning, while they were still in the corporate world because of connections, those were the ones who succeeded the most. And here's why. There's a problem with our mindset when we're in the corporate world. We think that we know everything. We think because we're in such a great position, we're an executive with 10, 15, 20 years of experience, in which we have very good results, if not great results. We think that we know how the game is played outside of the corporate world. And that's our biggest mistake, because that's where we're going to fail, because we don't know the rules of the game. You see, working with OPM, other people's money, in the corporate world is a whole different ballgame than working with our own money, which we have to take out of our pockets. And that requires a very different mindset. And it's a mindset which you don't have usually in the corporate world. So what do? What do we do in order to ensure our success when we leave the corporate world, and how do we build up sort of a plan or a runway so that we can succeed in the private sector for ourselves as entrepreneurs? I think from experience, maybe the most important thing is not to leave your position in the corporate, not to leave your position as an executive there before you have everything in place, before you built a plan, you have your strategy, and you even went down to the tactics. If you're thinking about building your own business, you have to start doing that while you're in the corporate world. You have to start thinking about your branding. You have to really think about every single thing and define your potential clients, your customers. What you have in the corporate world is totally different. You have to understand that the people who you know in the corporate world, they might help you at the very beginning to get you on your way. But in the end, you won't be able to rely upon anybody unless you bring so much value for the price that you're asking that there's no question about it. And to be honest, that doesn't always happen. You have to understand another thing. The first 3 years of any business are killer years. They are really difficult because the first year you're just investing money in your business. The second year you're hoping to break even. And maybe in the third year to show some profit. And most private businesses fail. The fact that you're great in your job in the corporate world, I respect that. But you have to know the limits of it, because the private sector is dog eat dog. It's a game where there are no rules. And when you don't have any rules, you have to be really strong, and you have to know how to go about your business in the best way possible. Another thing which is extremely important, you have to understand that the first year of your business, people say, build a runway of 3 to 6 months. In other words, put money on the side so you won't have to rely upon the new business to feed you, to support you. I say that's nonsense. You have to be talking here 9 to 12 months easy. I would say not less than a year to build yourself a runway in which you can live your life comfortably, work hard, and not look for your business to support you because it won't be able to in the beginning. And by the way, that's true for any business. Don't kid yourself. It's a rough world out there. You have to be very, very prepared. Think of your branding, think of your strategy, think of your marketing. Start building everything before that. When you have your product or service in place, start defining it. See who your final client is going to be. Start talking to people who you know in the corporate world. Let them know that you're thinking of going into business for yourself and already see how they can help you. Because once you leave corporate, people are going to forget you. Fact of life, that's the way it is, especially in the private sector. So don't go around thinking that you're top dog right now in the corporate world and that's going to be the same way in the private sector. And now maybe I'm going to give you maybe the biggest and most important tip of all. Get yourself a coach, a mentor, a teacher, an advisor, somebody to help you through your transition from corporate to the private sector. Get yourself somebody who can be there for you, somebody either who's done it him or herself successfully or has worked with others and helped them successfully navigate that transition. You might think you know everything and you might think that you can do it yourself. In my experience, working with some great executives who had amazing positions in the biggest companies around the fucking planet. When they left, and some of them did everything by themselves, they failed. No matter how good they were. They failed because they didn't know the ropes. What can you do when you work in corporate for so many years? You get the corporate mindset, and that is something which has to shift. And the best way to help you shift that is by having somebody at your side, an advisor, a coach, or a mentor to help you do that. I hope you think about my words. They're said from a place of respect and love. I fully admire anybody who wants to go into business as an entrepreneur, to go into business for themselves. I myself, I've been a businessman for more than 40 years. I founded 7- and 8-figure companies, and now I help others do the same. Don't think that it's easy to do it yourself. Invest in yourself, get the best support and help you can, and think of what I've told you and the advice I've given you. Should you want any more support in your transition from the corporate world to the private sector, or if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. Send me a comment or write me something on in a message. I'll get back to you. And if you think you'd like some more deeper work together over time, we can talk about that. So until then, thanks for watching until now. I wish you the best of success in your new life, in your transition. Take it easy, don't run, think carefully, know that you're going to make mistakes, and I hope you have the best success doing what you want to do and what you love to do. See you in the next one.